Hi, this is Philip with RTX Honeybees. Welcome to my tiny little workshop. I'm going to attempt to make my first build video, and what I'm going to try to show you all what I build is actually going to be top bars. The reason I'm starting with top bars is because this happens to be what I need at the moment. I need to make about 150 of these. So these top bars are made for the same for my deeps. This is a deep that I make, and also mediums, exactly the same top bar. I also make the Texas Deep. It's very similar, except that the Texas Deep has a 1/2 inch sidebar, whereas the standard frame has a 3/8 inch sidebar. What I'm going to do is make as many cuts as I can before I have to customize it for the 1/2 inch notch. Basically, that's right here. Right here, I have to, instead of being 3/8, that has to be 1/2 inch. All right, I hope you guys enjoy it. We'll probably make a video for each part, but forgive me if it takes me a while to get the sidebars because I just happen to have enough of those. I think to make about 150 frames. I want to make 30 of these. I want to make 30 of these Texas Deeps, and I do have enough of the sidebars for 30 more of these. So, and I think I need about 150 of the combined of the deeps and the mediums, but the I already have about 30 of these, so I'm going to try to make 150 total. I have about 50, so that means I need 120. So what I want to do is make 120, 30 of which work with the Texas Deep, and the balance works with this. So 90 of this style, 30 of this style. Let's talk a little bit about shop safety and personal safety. Nothing I'm doing here is a recommendation. It's for entertainment purposes only. If you attempt to try anything that I'm trying, you assume full responsibility. I may throw in a safety tip from time to time if you try to use my methods, but in no means am I an expert or trained on the proper way to use anything. I'm self-taught for the most part. I'll be using a sliding miter saw, a table saw, and a router to make these. We're going to try to take this stack of 2x4 scraps and turn them into these top bars. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them to length on the chop saw. What I've done is I've set up a stop block. The length of these are supposed to be 19 inches. I really like to make them 18 and 15/16. That may not sound like much, but if you've had to try to force frames down into a box because the box was just a tiny bit too short, that 1/16 of an inch makes all the difference in the world, I've found. I've got it. I should put my dust mask on. There we go. I'll do that 20 more times. Okay. That's everything cut to length. I'm going to have to stop because I have to go to an Eagle Court of Honor for a couple of scouts that I know. And when I come back, we'll start ripping these down on the table saw. It's the next morning. We're ready to continue. We're going to take these 2x4s that were cut to length, 18 and 15/16, and I'm going to rip them down 3/4 inches wide. Should get 4 pieces per board on the table saw. Now, I want to just remind you that nothing I'm doing is a suggestion on how to use power tools, especially a table saw. Table saws are very dangerous and they're unforgiving. I may point out some safety tips that I follow, and you may want to point out some to me in the comments. But once again, your safety is your own responsibility. Let's get started. And don't forget, protect your eyes, your ears, I don't know what that's all about, and your lungs. I do want to tell you guys 3 safety tips I follow with the table saw, maybe 4. Try to keep your fingers as far from the blade as you can. You know, this red plate here on the top of the table saw, I don't know if you can see it from your angle. It's red for a reason. Blood. I try to stand out of the area because this will, if it catches in a bind, it'll kick back. Matter of fact, I have a hole in my glass here in my door where a piece flew back. It'll throw a splinter or something like that right into your stomach. So stay out of I don't know if you can tell from the angle, but I'm to the side of the blade. Set your blade just barely higher than your workpiece. And I've got scars on my thumb to prove that that's a good thing because I've run my thumb across it when I got lazy one time and lost track of thought. Finally, and the one that most people have difficulty with, including myself, is when your piece gets to about here, resist trying to grab it and helping it through. Use your push sticks and only push. Try not to grab your workpiece until it's beyond the cuff. Okay. Now, I don't always do that, but I try to remember that because what will happen if you try to grab your workpiece right here and it catches in a bind, it'll pull your hand back into that spinning blade before you even know what happened. A bit of safety, but once again, safety is your responsibility. I have a few of these. They're 1-inch thick boards, exactly 1 inch. My next cut is either going to be 1 inch or 1 1/16. I hadn't exactly decided. So when I taking one of these, I was going to rip it down 1 inch or 1 1/16. The reason I like the 1 inch is it usually leaves me with the 3/8 inch bottom board left over, so I don't have to remake those. But these are 1 inch thick. I'm going to use them, so I'm just going to rip these into 3/4, so they'll be, the blanks on these will be finished whenever I get through cutting these. Okay, that's it for that cut. I would say that took me, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes. Not sure how many I have. Oh wow, look at that. Let me show you guys what we've come out with. Started out by just grabbing the pieces and dropping them in these buckets, and then I decided just to let them drop. So I set a little trash can down to catch them, which should have been maintained a little better. And there's a stack over there. And the next step, I'll be ripping these down 1 inch wide, maybe 1 1/16. We may try both. And it should leave me a 3/8 inch bottom piece. I'm pretty sure on my Texas Deeps I'm going to go with a 1/2 inch bottom piece anyway. So I'll just have to make custom pieces for that. So we'll get this set up, but I have to go to work, so I need to go take a shower and go to work. And maybe this evening, maybe tomorrow morning, we'll get this started again. Okay, we're ready to make the next cut. We're going to cut these 1 inch wide. Should leave us with about 3/8 of an inch left over that we can use on the bottoms. Some of them we'll be able to use, some we won't. I like to set up feather boards when I'm pushing the same size piece through the table saw each time, especially when your piece is thinner or cut is closer to the edge of your material. These feather boards really help. Okay, something I got caught in a bind here, and look what happened to my feather board. It just shattered. Probably took the pieces out of here and threw them away. I'm down to this poor guy here, which I'm going to use just to finish this job. But I've got to make myself some more. Got to make myself some more feather boards.
Watch closely and you will see why not to stand in the line of the cut. Fortunately, the piece just caught my shirt and knocked the sawdust off of me. Safety first, beekeepers.
Okay, we got that done. Let's show you the mess we made. Have a look at this. Look at that right there. What a mess. I'm not sure if any of them went in the bucket. I think they just stayed on the top. I'll get all that straightened up and show you guys the results. That's 6 layers, 18 pieces each, plus roughly 10 on top of that. So I'll put the math on the screen. I just don't feel like adding that up in my head. Tomorrow we'll set up the router and continue on. Okay, I decided to go ahead and continue on tonight. So I set up my router table. Got my blanks over here. And I've got it set up. I've made a few test cuts. Basically, this is set at about 3/16 of an inch high. And see if this is, it's a little tight. Yeah, it fits. So, and I've got this sidebar that I test it with. I'll notch it. Oh, I'm calling it 3/16. It really doesn't matter. I just have to make sure that I test it, and I just set that depth to where this works. Then I'll come back and raise that up to about 1/4 of an inch. And I'll run it across like that, and then this will sit pretty much flush there when I do that. Okay, my goal is to make about 30 of these for the Texas Deeps, and I think I've got about 35 here. You'll end up losing a few, and different things will happen, but so I've got enough with this cut. Now I'm going to adjust the blade upward so that this will flush out with that. It's about 1/4 of an inch. That's already 3/16, so it's not very much that I have to raise it. All right, let's see how that did. Pretty good. That's pretty good. I might raise it just a hair, but it's within a 16th of where it needs to be. One thing I'm not liking is, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's not exactly still lined up. So apparently this thing got tilted a little bit when I raised it up. So I'm gonna try to fix that real quick before I do all of these. All right, let's try that. A little better. Not as, it's still got a little bit of a offset, but I think it's going to be okay. Yeah, that fits nicely. Nice and square. So, all right, we're going to go with it. Like Bob Benny says, bees don't care. Okay, so I did about 35 of those. The rest of the top bars that I'm working with are, let's see, I had an example here somewhere. Oops, on the bottom of my stack. Okay, this is actually one that's finished. But the grooves on them is 3/8 of an inch. 3/8 of an inch wide. So I have to change this bit out from a 1/2 inch to 3/8 and then do the rest of them. The end bars, this is 5/8 of an inch right here on both. And it's just a little wider toward the middle for the Texas deeps. So we'll definitely continue this tomorrow. Have about 90 more of that type cut to go, and then we'll go on to the table saw and finish them out. By putting that slope on there. A lot of people just cut that 1/2 inch straight across, but I don't know, I slope it just like I guess the commercial ones are. But I will, we'll do that on the table saw, and we'll put this little groove in it on the table saw. But first we got to finish and make about 90 more of these. See y'all tomorrow. Okay, it's February 28th, Tuesday morning. I'm going to continue on with making these top bars. I made all that I wanted to for the Texas Deep. Now I'm going to go to the regular ones, so that means I've got to change out the router bit to a 3/8 inch router bit. You want to make sure you unplug your router before you change out the bits, so you don't accidentally turn it on. Okay, these are some frames that I'd already made. We use them as to check. These are 3/4 by 1/2 inch deep, approximately. You guys just going to let me make that mistake? Sorry, since I changed from 1/2 inch to 3/8, I need to move this in at a 1/16 of an inch. Early in the morning, having trouble thinking. So at a 1/2 inch bit, which is now 3/8, that's 1/8 total. Yeah, move this in 1/16 of an inch. Yeah. Finally. Okay, so partway through, I got to thinking when I was making my adjustments, if this is 3/16 and what I needed this to be is about a quarter, I said, well, why don't I just check it and see if I did all three sides at one time, where it would end up. And I'm just almost flush, like I don't know, maybe 32nd right there. And on this piece, it's in here. This one's even closer to being flush. So I'm thinking, why don't I just save myself some effort and just go zip, zip, and then do the third side. So that's what I'm decided to do. Go back and I've done probably 20 of these. You see right here. I'm gonna go back and cut the third side of those, and then on the next ones I'll just keep going and doing three sides at a time. Save myself a little bit of time. Okay, got through all of them. Roughly 120, 125, something like that. Next step will be to take them to the table saw and to cut the taper right here at each end. I'm not going to do that now. It's after 8 o'clock in the morning. Go get ready and go to work. Probably not going to be able to get back to this tonight because I've got a scout meeting, and after the meeting, Sarge's son is presenting his Eagle project proposal. So looking forward to that. So probably tomorrow morning we'll continue on.
Well, I forgot to turn my mic on, so I'm going to have to voice over this part. So it's that same Tuesday. I got off work a little early, decided I had enough time to continue on. I'm showing you the taper that I'm going to cut on the end bars. Setting my blade at about 7 degrees. Slope tends to work out okay. So now I'm just going to start cutting.
just realized that I did all that with my microphone turned off. So I guess you guys just get through here and maybe some voiceover. All right. Well, I'll show you what we got. That's for the Texas Deeps. And then that's about 30, 35, and then there's about 90 roughly of these standard bars. All we got left is we've got to put the groove down the middle to hold the wax starter strip. And that'll be it for this job. Okay, we're down to our last cut. Just going to cut the groove into the bottom of this to hold the wax starter strip. Hopefully I can get this done in about 20 minutes. Okay, that's it for the standard frames. I need to clean up this mess in front of the table saw before I do the Texas Deeps. Don't want them to get mixed up. Let you guys have a look at my mess. Maybe like that. Got to pick all that up and then get started on the Texas Deeps. All right, that's a wrap. About 100, roughly 120, 125 top bars. Let me show you guys what I do with them in the meantime. All right, that's the top bars for the Texas Deeps. Let me come on out here. Hey Mo, want to say hi? All right. The other ones that I made, I store them in these bins right here. That's the other ones that I made. I just went ahead and stuck them in here because I won't be needing those for a good long while. Then those are Morse cleats. There's the sidebars. Deeps, Texas Deeps on the left, Honey Super frames on the right. That's also why it'll be a while before I do a build on sidebars. But as soon as I do, guys, I will make a video of it. But it could be a while because I've got a lot of frames already built and ready to go into action. All right, that's it for the top bar build. I hope I get better at these. This is kind of practice to start showing you guys how I build stuff. Hope you enjoyed it. It's Philip with RTX Honeybees. Thanks for watching.